What's good for us? What's good for us? We are back. We are back. We are back. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Thank you guys for tuning in again for Chaos Culture Radio. We appreciate you guys. As you know, we do go live Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays at 6 o'clock p.m. Eastern Time. We appreciate you guys. Ronnie, he's not here with us. He's up in New York. He's having a little vacation, so he will be back next week. So, hey, Ronnie, man, we miss you, man. Enjoy New York. But anyhow, you still got us too. We still gonna give you some good topics in there like we always do. But hey, man, Hakeem, man, how you doing, man? How you feeling, brother? How you
I'm doing
feeling?
fantastic, brother. God is good, and we still here breathing. What about yourself?
Hey, man, I'm feeling blessed, man. My wife, she's almost there, man. A little over a month and a week or 2 weeks, yo, and shoot, we almost there, man. I'm just day by day, moment. Me and my wife, we just been talking about, when she comes, how is this gonna be a life changing experience and everything, and it's exciting, man. I'm just ready, man.
I'm happy, man.
Yes, sir, man. But at least to say, let's get it. So, hey, man, let's get started. So, here's the topic number one we have is, as you guys know, on Club Shay Shay, Shannon Sharp, he interviewed Monique, which, Monique, she has some stuff in her bag too. And she went off with some couple people, some trending topics, she talked about, the color purple, the Taraji P. Henson situation, the Oprah situation, Lee Daniels and Tyler Perry, but also the feud with DL Hughley, and also Tiffany Haddish as well, about such situation as well. So, without further ado, we're gonna play the few clips for you guys. After that, we're gonna chop it up. Go ahead, Hakeem.
Let me be clear. I love that sister because she's our sister. She just got to come back across the street. We got the light on. When I speak about Oprah Winfrey, I speak about that woman because she's spoken about me. And when you begin to speak about me privately, I'm going to speak about you publicly. You've been unfair. You've been unjust. And you watched a black woman be thrown under the bus, and you said nothing. And here's what's interesting as well. My husband was saying to me, after I won the Oscar award, right? And she had the people come, to talk to the Oscar winners. And I go on the stage and I talk to the Oscar winners. Well, when we go to a commercial, the people in the audience, and I say this humbly, as my husband was telling me, he said, Mama, they wasn't screaming Oprah. They were screaming Monique. Right?
Right.
So much so, I had to say, y'all gonna shut that shit up now. We get ready to go back on the air. We having fun, right? He said, but I watched Oprah. He said, and I watched her almost turn in her seat like they screaming her name. Now, some people will say, oh, Monique, you're reaching. Well, let me tell you what then happens. The movie The Butler, that movie was offered to me. Lee Daniels came out and said, I did offer Monique the Butler. But as he said to me, he said, Mo, at the time I didn't have no power and I didn't have no money. So when Oprah said she wanted it, so who played the lead role in The Butler? Oprah Winfrey. Lee Daniels was getting ready to do a biopic on Richard Pryor, and he offered me the grandmother. Who then calls Lee Daniels and says, I want to be the grandmother. So, as you're looking at me, it's the same way I'm looking at that sister. And I'm saying, why don't we sit down and have a conversation? Because the way things could look, it may not be that way, but just the way things look, Oprah. Just the way you would have my family on your show, Oprah.
One might say, Mo, well, I mean, if the role, if they're looking for a black,
Big, go ahead and say it. Shannon's so careful with his words. He want to say fat black woman. If the role looking for a fat black woman, Mo, but he was like,
but I want to keep my podcast, Mo. Y'all ain't finna cancel
This
me.
why we love you, Uncle Shay Shay, because we want you to say it, a fat black woman. Now, me and Oprah fit the damn description, Shay. Fat black. Don't we fit it?
You do. But I'll be right back in the million. I'll be your neighbor up there where you live at.
Listen here. Listen here. Listen here. So, are you lying?
No.
Now, I'm not going to have your big ass sitting here in the Hall of Fame and you scared to say shit. I tried to call you first. I tried to talk to you privately, but then you became the
1 minute.
Right.
Family is sacred. And we know that you don't cross the line when it comes to family.
Correct.
Right? I do DL's radio show.
Yes.
DL Hughley is not there. His team is there. And Shannon, we having a great time. I mean, baby, we having a great time. We going forward, back and forth. When we get to the end of the show, they say, Monique, you want to play a game? Well, I want to play. I said, sure, sugar. Let's play a game. And it's a game called Would You Rather.
No.
Okay? Now,
Monique, you should have said I'm too old for this game.
wait a minute. We're having fun, baby. Right? We're having a good time, Shannon. Okay. It's the sister there and there's two other guys. We're having a great time. It's a beautiful black unity cookout.
Okay.
We're having a good time.
Okay.
Would you say your wife was your family? Is that considered family?
Yeah.
So your husband is considered family,
Absolutely.
right? Okay. So family is sacred.
Right.
Family is sacred. And here we go. They said, Monique, we want to play a game of Would You Rather. Let's go. Would you rather your husband sleep with Lee Daniels with a condom or Corinne Steffens without one?
Really, Monique?
Now, as y'all are watching right now who haven't heard this story, y'all going, they doing the same thing in the studio. They going, okay. That is exactly what happened. Now, I said to the team, how does that uplift our community? I said, sister, and her name is Jasmine, how could you ask another sister that? Well, we just planned. I said, tell me the joke in that, because I don't know what you're insinuating. Then you're involving people that have nothing to do with nothing. Like, what are y'all doing? So I said, I'm going to call my brother. DL. I'm going to call my brother. I call DL Hughley. Here we go. They say on the phone. I say, hey, baby. Yeah.
Huh?
That's how he responds. Yeah.
Did he know it was you?
Yes, because they called him to let him know Monique's going to be calling.
Right.
Like this, it was getting crazy.
Right.
I'm like, just let me get on the phone with my brother. Right?
Yeah.
Hey, DL. Yeah. I said, listen, I just got off the phone with your team and they wanted to play this game, Would You Rather? And it was like, stupid. Like asking me about my husband and Lee Daniels and Corinne Steffens, and his exact words, well, that's how we do it. I said, DL, how does that uplift our community? And again, I don't know what y'all trying to insinuate, but brother, what you doing? Like I said, that's just how we do it. So it is what it is. Now, it got so ugly that my attorney had to send a cease and desist. So it never aired. So we have, like, when Cat Williams talk and people, truth tellers talk, we have recently on the phone. I say, hey, baby. Yeah.
Huh?
That's how he responds. Yeah. It's to everything we're saying. That's how that whole thing got started. Okay? It's family. My husband is my family.
Yeah.
Now, you babies that are really good with this internet, through the years, I've watched DL speak ill of me. Through the years. I never knew DL Hughley had a problem with me. But when Cat said they all a group, he forgot to put DL Hughley in the group. Mm-hmm. Through the years, I was bitter. I was dangerous with what I was doing, saying that it was inequality. My husband didn't know what he was doing. This went on through the years. I was unloved, all of these things. And I said to myself, to everything we're saying, that's how that whole thing got started.
Well, Club Shay Shay is getting messier and messier. It's almost like Wendy Williams didn't go anywhere. She just got a weight set. So Monique was on. Every time I see Monique these days, she's on doing some greasy ass video with her and her daddy complaining about something, or working out. I don't know nobody that work out that much and gain weight unless every crunch you do got captain in front of it. But apparently she goes on Club Shay Shay and tells the story about how she came on my radio show and I wasn't there at the time. And my co-host Jasmine Sanders played a game that we played all the time with everybody called Would You Rather. She apparently was so offended by that she says she got off. She called me. Monique did, and she said I was very dismissive, like, Monique's a liar. When Monique did call me, I heard her complaints. I listened to her and I pulled the segment. So if I had been as dismissive as she alleges I was, that segment would have aired. It didn't because I respected her wishes. She's a liar. Well, Club Shay Shay is getting messier and messier. It's also befuddles the shit out of me how somebody who as a comedian talks as much shit about everybody else as she does, she has the temerity to be offended about anything as much shit as you say about people. Then she encouraged everybody, allegedly it stems from the fact that I used to always talk shit about her on video after video, and she encouraged her sweet babies to look at the video and find them. Do that. Do exactly what she says. And you know what you're not going to find? You're not going to find any evidence of that because Monique is a fucking liar. She's lying about that. But what you will find is Monique talking shit about some alleged contract dispute we had. Look at the ticket. It says D.L. Hughley, then Monique. She knows the story. But what she did in response to that, she talked about my dog, my wife. This broad even brought out my daughter's personal trauma. My daughter was molested and Monique brought that shit out and told the world that I allowed my daughter to be raped in front of me. The lying motherfucker. She knows she was lying. It's also, and it only stopped when everybody from my family checked her. It's interesting. You know what else you won't see Monique doing? You won't ever see her with her family, videos with her children or grandchildren, because nobody fucks with me. How do you have sweet babies when your own babies don't fuck with you? How do you love us for real when there's no evidence of anybody loving you for real, except your daddy, who you apparently have to pay? And FYI, daughters are paid for by daddies, not daddies who get paid by their daughters. You know what else you won't see Monique doing? Telling jokes. Monique, if she'd have spent as much time actually writing jokes and writing her Netflix special as she did complaining about not having one, it wouldn't have been trash. It got the worst reviews of any Netflix special in history. Because that's what Monique does. She complains and she has grievances. You never see her being a human being. You never see her being sweet and warm to people. Except when and it only stopped when when she's using it to butter somebody up to get something. There's a reason why everywhere she goes, shit starts. Everywhere she goes. How is it that nobody fucks with you? Not even your family. How do you, or I was on the road getting it. I get it every goddamn week. Look at my schedule versus yours. See how much I'm going. And I still manage to have a relationship that I cherish with my children. Can you say the same? You can't. Because all you do is talk about your grievances and who did you wrong. There's a reason you're by yourself. There's a reason you got to pay a man to love you. It's sad. There's an old adage that says you can't buy love. It's a shame, Monique, that you probably always will have to.
Woo, man. They've been feuding for a long time, yo. A long time. But hey man, but shout out to Club Shay Shay, yo. He's what he's doing right now, man. He's changing the game with the interviews now. He's know how to like stir up, drama in a way that we kind of like, but he know how to do it there and everything. Because this year it started with Cat Williams, now Monique's doing it, and shoot, I might see what Shay Shay might do. Shoot, I want to see. There might be some people coming back that was on it before. Just start spinning drama on the show, which it's really, which this is kind of what we find entertainment anyways, and which is fine. And Club Shay Shay, the podcast, he's changing the game in that, and he's getting a lot of reviews and everything. And also like how he interviews people too. It kind of gets like, okay, learning how he interviews, like kind of teach me, okay, what he does and everything. So I'm kind of learning from Shannon Sharp anyways. But yeah, man. Like I said, Club Shay Shay, he did they got a 2-hour interview with Monique, everything. And Monique, she went off on people. But that biggest thing was that feud with D.L. Hughley and Monique and everything, because they've been feuding for a long time. So yeah, man, Hakeem, man, what's your take, man, about the Monique on Club Shay Shay? What's your thoughts on what you if you've seen it, the clips and or the interview? What's your
I
thoughts on it?
I have watched the video and I was like, this is the same thing she's been saying for years. And I tried to tell people this. Now, I'm a little bit conflicted. There's some parts of it where I feel that, hey, just put in the work and you'll see results. Because a lot of comedians and people go through stuff, so put in the work. But then there's this other factor where I say, like some of this stuff, she kind of is right. Like you a woman, you overweight, and you're black, so I can only imagine what she goes through in the industry. Is she's being objectified? Is she's being disrespectful? I do think that what they said to her on that plane is very tasteless. Like I wouldn't bring my husband in no gay romancy or anything. I wouldn't allow nobody to speak negative about y'all on here, or Rilla, or Ashton, or anybody, or even Lord Sprite Protein in any kind of way. That'd be very disrespectful. So that I agree with her on. But I do think that when it comes to her grievances about being disrespected and people speaking on her, I have no issue on that. I say, hey, I can believe a lot of that stuff. This is Hollywood. But as far as deserving a certain kind of money, I want, you know me, Jordan. You know I'm always going to go back to that Marcus Garvey Pan-African situation.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I say, if there's a problem, just build your own Netflix. Get on YouTube, do a special, release it on YouTube. You're famous enough to get 1 million views on YouTube. If Monique started a YouTube channel tomorrow and filmed her own special and filmed it all over the place, Cat Williams is one of the most highest paid comedians who we don't see in Hollywood. I see his stuff he gets booked all the time. He does 100 shows a year. He says she
Yeah.
deserved the money, Prince, before you even said it. No, you see, listen, I'm big
Yeah.
on this. I'm big on this, and I want you to take this over. When they had that conversation about the whole money situation, they was trying to compare Dave Chappelle and other people. Dave Chappelle had did 1,500 shows. Netflix is going to cut a bag.
Yep.
Cat Williams specials get streamed. I'm one of them who watches it regularly. I rewatch it.
He's coming out with another one this year too on Netflix.
Another one. And you think they're not going to give him 30, 40 million because they're going to make 100 million? When they gave Andy Clooney and all these other girls deals that was big, they were lit. So I'm speaking from that level. Like, hey, miss, that you can't demand 40 million and you haven't done anything and your name don't ring bells. Netflix ain't no different than a record label or anything. If you're lit, we're going to pay. If you're not, that's it.
That's true. I was listening to since after the interview came out, I was listening to a lot of people's the opinions about it on YouTube and everything, and plenty of people, and and it got me to this point right here with Monique and everything. We all know in Hollywood, here in Hollywood, if you're not box office, you're not gonna get paid as you are at the box office, and that's what you see. Like Monique is kind of is complaining about it, even though she's very decorated. She's a comedian wise. She won an Oscar, Golden Globes, and everything. She's decorated, the thing is like she might be box office and as a comedian role, but it comes to like box office on the movies, she's not like that. She's not box office like that. Taraji P. Henson, which we talked about her. She's a decorated actress. Is she box office? No. I know somebody who's kind of box office, but not right now. But she used to be in the past, and a lot of people was getting on her because she wasn't having support for Taraji P. Henson, and that was Vivica A. Fox. Back in the 90s, she was in box office movies. Independence Day with Will Smith. The Batman movie that was box office. a few movies like Vivica A. Fox, she was in box office movies. And then when people was like, I think it was a paparazzi asked her questions about, do you support Taraji P. Henson? She was like, wherever she's going through, she's going through. That's cool. It's unfortunate for me. I'm gonna keep on working. Keep my muscle, keep my back and everything. Because I think with Vivica A. Fox, she know how this Hollywood business works and everything. If you're not box office, you're not gonna get paid as these box office people. So and that's how it is in Hollywood. There's very few people who can achieve that box office type of man or woman. If you hit that box office type of status, you're going to get it and everything. Fortunately, it's not a lot of black women that I would like to see who's really, really box office like that. It's only a very, very, very few, at least a very, very few and everything. But that's how Hollywood. That's how Hollywood is. Going with the feud with the DL Hughley, and the feud with her Monique and everything. I just feel like they need to come to a truce because, personally, for me, this feud has gone way too long and everything. And to me, to me they're too old to be feuding like this. This is personally for me and everything because they've been feuding for I think maybe 10, 15 years now. I mean, I remember one time it was so bad that what DL was talking about when they was doing a show together, and I hate as he said it was DL Hughley and Monique and everything. But the thing is, Monique had a problem of DL Hughley being a headliner, but the thing is, it was really DL Hughley who was supporting the show, was putting money into the show and everything. And then she definitely had a problem with that. And my thing is, it's like for two comedians who's been in the game for almost 30 years now, I believe y'all should be sharing the wealth and everything. But the thing is, like, it's just so bad that how Monique was talking about his daughter and everything when the daughter was in the situation and everything, and when you talk about each other, like hit personal shots about family, it's just it gets ugly. But I just wish they find a way to make a truce because, like I said, the more y'all talk, to me, they can make more money together than they are now and everything. But I don't think it's not gonna happen. But also shout out to Monique. She said she was she went on a live. She said she's gonna be on tour with Cat Williams. She talked about how her and Cat Williams they like Siamese twins and everything. And but I think that tour is gonna be really, very well. Also the situation she was talking about, with the Oprah situation as well. How back at the time when I believe was she Oprah was like a producer of Precious, I believe.
I'm not.
Because
I'm not sure though. I think
yeah,
that was a Lee Daniels situation.
it was a Lee Daniels situation. It was Lee Daniels movies and everything. But I was hearing like what was behind the scene. I don't know if she was behind the scenes somewhat. But and then after that situation, when she won an Oscar and everything, she really didn't get that full support from Oprah and everything. And she felt blackballed from Oprah. Also with Tyler Perry, she said that that Tyler Perry kind of spread rumors that she's difficult to work with. Once you say that, a lot of people's not going to work for you. And also the Lee Daniels situation, which her and Lee Daniels they forgetting each other and they forget everything, and how Monique is still talking about that, how she's still talking about that, and then also how Taraji B. Henson, she was talking about some Oprah situation too and everything. It's a thing. It's a thing about these Hollywood situations, like if you're not, I'm just to go back to the box office situation. If you're not box office, if you don't do numbers, if you don't put money in the box office like that, you're not gonna get paid like the box office. If you have multiple Golden Globes, multiple Oscars, and everything, if you don't hit box office, sorry, you don't get paid like the top G's. It's just like you go work in a company and everything. You have workers, you have managers, you have store managers, you have district managers, and then you have the top tier in the company. And that's how it works like that. So it's just very simple, with Monique and everything. I mean, I love Monique. I really do love Monique. She's a fighter and everything. I remember she sued Netflix and everything, and people thought she was crazy, but she got, and then she wanted a settlement for that too. So shout out to Monique, But sometimes I feel like Monique, she, this is sometimes she complains a little bit too much. I feel like she complained a little bit too much, just for my taste and everything. I think sometimes that Monique, there's certain things she needs to be humble with and everything. Because how far has she become and becoming everything as her as a comedian, as the actress and everything. She did a lot of things that a lot of black women who are not who won't achieve as an actor or the comedian and everything. So I really like Monique as a comedian and actress. She's one of the greats as a comedian and everything. But for me, at her age and everything, I just feel like show a little bit of humbleness at where you are right now, because a lot of black women's not gonna get a snippet of where she's gonna be at.
That's a fact. Brother, you spoke so eloquently and you hit the point. I could just only add on to what you say. But I also want to he says not even a little bit. Let's read what these titles say.
Yeah, go ahead.
She said, unfortunately, she'll never be humble. Cat Williams and Monique problems are self-inflicted. Let the Black Queen complain.
I like it.
I like that.
She said, "Those are your people." She said, "NJE, you have to tell them to settle down."
Now, we have to use this as an example. When Tyree spoke the other day, I don't think a lot of people listened to it in its entirety from the context, which can gladly speak to this. When we speak about other races talk bad about their own people, but not to this extent. Since we never had much, as soon as we get a little something, it's a problem. A lot of us come in this game feel that we're entitled, and that's the biggest issue too. Monique feel that she's entitled. Just like you said, Jordan, her career has been beautiful. For God's sakes, how many other black actresses have gotten an Oscar, regardless of what the role has been? How many black actresses have fallen down to the waistline in California? Because let's be real about it. For 1,000 black girls who come to California, only 3 make it.
Yep.
You
barely.
And how many of them end up in sex work?
A lot.
And sex movies.
If they want to stay in California, it's a lot. Because they don't want to leave California. They don't want to leave.
Okay, I'm going to get even touchy now. Well, let's start even go to YouTube. There's a lot of guys on YouTube that other people are jealous of. I'm happy these brothers are making money. I want to learn from their template. I'm not hating on these brothers. Some of the stuff might not be, some of the stuff is a little tasteless. We over here in the Chaos Culture Radio crew, we ain't doing that, but we respect them boys. We salute them. We say, hey, we see you. We trying to catch up with you, but we don't hate you.
And hopefully they see us too.
They do see us. They do see us and they love us. But let me tell you something. I wish Monique and Kat would approach the situation a little different compared to our other counterparts. And I know a lot of people don't like when I say this, but there's a lot of people in Hollywood who is very underrepresented. I don't see them complaining. You know how many Asian actors there is that don't get put on? And the few Asians that are up there, I don't see the other Asians that say, Jackie Chan and Jet Li was the only one who was getting money. No, them boys, the other new Asians came in, they kept grinding, they kept doing, they pay homage. Jackie, Chan, Bruce, them boys set the way for us. I never heard them complain. Look at the Mexicans. Very underrepresented in the movie industry. Very underrepresented. They don't complain. You have George Lopez, the other fat one. They're the top 2, and maybe that girl here in Ugly Betty or whatever. You don't see nobody complaining. They're supporting their Mexican sister. I see you. Throw me a leg up. Throw me a leg up, which the Mexicans do. Us, man, that nigga tripping. He ain't better than me. I sell more shows out than him. This is where Tyrese was coming from that sentiment. He didn't say he wanted to be Latino. He loved what the Latinos do and appreciate. Go on there and complain on Club Shay Shay. It ain't moving us no forward. It's setting us back 20 years. People forget to win is unity. To win is unity. Unity amongst Germans, Latinos, Arabs is so beautiful that we can learn a lesson from instead of us complaining about who's winning and who's not winning. This was a question. I want y'all to go on YouTube, and somebody did a wonderful piece about why Eddie Murphy and Martin Lawrence didn't get together at the height of their careers. Eddie Murphy gave a great answer. He said that we never had that, so everybody trying to be the boss, so we all feel like somebody's going to take their shine. It's enough money for everybody. Mm-hmm. I don't want to be the top dog in charge. If another podcast like one of y'all, I want Ashton to be bigger than me.
You see what Fresh Sound said?
Yeah.
Club Shay Shay?
He said Club Shay Shay is causing more division than bringing people together. That's 100%.
Yeah.
That's 100%. Don't get me wrong. Cat Williams' interview was funny, but it did ruffle some feathers even for me. Because I keep it real with you. We love Travis Smiley here. I don't know what everybody say. Travis Smiley from Alabama. But what he did in Miami, you would think he's from Miami as much as we love Travis Smiley here. That man is a man of God. That man lost his son. And when people was picking on him about crying, I say enough was enough. Cat has a right to speak on it. I don't know if these guys spoke on him in the way. I didn't hear they spoke with so much vitriol that Cat was saying. Don't get me wrong. A lot of people got an issue with people talking shit. The better to win a fight is to be quiet.
Yeah. That's true. And that's true. And the thing is, it's like it is a big problem, even though, for instance, like for the Kings of Comedy, you know, with Steve Harvey, DL, Bernie Mac, and Cedric Entertainer. You know, a lot of people don't know, you know, it was really a little bit of Steve Harvey and everything. Like, you know, there was some hating between Steve Harvey and Bernie Mac. A lot of people don't know. Steve Harvey was hating for Bernie Mac because Bernie Mac was the top G. He was the funniest. When they went on the road, like Bernie Mac brought the house down. And that's why Cat Williams was talking about that at the time too. So I just feel like, you know, when a brother is doing something who maybe has a little bit more talented at certain things, we hate. Why do we hate for that for some reason? If that man's talented, he just talented. He just better than me. There's nothing you can do about it. There is nothing you can do about it. If somebody's, sports, music, anything in the entertainment, if somebody's better than you, they're better than you. Only thing you can do is get your ass back in, get back at home and work on yourself. You know, work on your craft. That's the best thing you can do. If you feel like somebody better than you, work on your craft until you say, hey, you go out there and say, hey, I've been working on this day and night. You know, no sleep. Let me get out there, maybe get back home, work on my craft until I get there. If you believe yourself, you can get there. And I just feel like, you know, in our Black American community, when we see something that's better than ours, we just like give up and everything. No, shout out to the great Michael Jordan, you know, and shout out to Kobe Bryant. His yesterday, congratulating him. His statue's coming out. I mean, his statue went out. Now he has two more statues coming out. A number 24, and then also another statue with her and her daughter, with Gianna and everything. So shout out to the late great Kobe Bryant. Man, we miss you, brother. And this is my Kobe Bryant's my favorite player. You know, he might not be the most talented as Michael or even LeBron, but that man will work his ass off every single day until he gets there and he performs onto that basketball short. Hey, this is what I got for you guys, and this is how it's gonna work. And the thing is, it's like a lot. I feel like a lot of black people should have that type of mentality. Say, hey, if somebody's better than me, okay, I'm okay. Okay, we'll see. Let me work on my craft. Let me do what I need to do, and I'm gonna show you when I come back out there. I'm gonna show you what I got and everything. You might beat me one time, twice, 3 times, but I'm gonna let you know that I'm coming for you. I'm coming for you. I'm coming for that spot. I just think that we need to have that little more of a mindset. Go ahead, Hakeem.
Brother, you said it again. I want to highlight what Lord Sport Pricing said. And I want them to understand this. This is a person who's a brother of ours. And he noticed something that we see every day. But we don't want to address it, and we'll get emotional when somebody else sees what we're doing.
Right.
Too much attitude in the blacks, the negative energy is a cancer. He's not telling no lie. We see it time and time again. We even see how we do our own people when we go to business. You know how many black people fuck or mess over black people? And then when we start to try to compare and contrast to other races, and we say, hey, they doing over there. You can't never just...
And I want to add this too, Hakeem. There's some I mean, it's not all in our black community. We do this sometimes too. If I'm trying to say this. If that person is like a little bit more talented or better at something,
yeah.
If they got a girlfriend, they're gonna try to talk to the girlfriend and have sex with the girlfriend.
Well, 100%. And listen, when we say the black community, I'm not only just talking about black Americans, I'm talking about Jamaicans, Haitians, Africans, and a lot of them, because they be in the mix too. If you hear, you done got indoctrinated. You know what I mean? But you're 100% right. We'll try to sleep with your woman. There's no such thing as honest. Shout outs to DB.
Because I'll be hearing on these them dirty YouTube streets. I had sex with your girl. I messed with your girl. Even Corey Holter, I love the brother, but he was on the show. Like I said, he was on the show the other day. He said a guy was talking about him. I think it was a pastor in Florida, and he was like, "You keep messing with me. You keep messing with me. I'm gonna mess with your girl."
You see, Corey Holcomb, he's funny sometimes, but he has no class at times, bro.
Exactly.
The dirty Mackin community, I can't rock with it. You know what I mean?
Dirty Mac. It's like I can't have like people that's like a dirty Mac. I cannot have that in my corner because I felt there was a friend I had to cut off because I felt like there was a potential dirty Mac.
You see? And that's the most disgusting thing that it is. You know what I mean? It is. But the thing about it is
put the fire emojis then. Hey, fire. Put in the fire emojis. Put in the fire emojis.
We're not playing no games. We not condoning no sympathy. We coming straight at the next. We not supporting indoctrination or victimization here. We do not support that. We work here. He gets up every day and work, and he doesn't beg, cry, or stump. I do the same damn thing. My mother was a freaking maid half her damn life. I've never seen her complain. I don't got a goddamn to be blaming anybody but myself. My mother was a maid, and she's given us a life that is, I've never heard her spoke negative about any race.
Yep.
Or who holding her down. My mother, my auntie who had passed away, she was a field worker in the fields cutting sugar cane here in Florida. You think it's crazy? We never complain. We are humble. We don't beg for nothing. We thank you, America. That's so true. These people with the opportunities they get, and you crying with millions of dollars.
Feel you.
Jordan, these people with millions of dollars crying.
Right. Now think about the average folks. Like I said, we complain too.
Come on.
But y'all got more cushion to cash than we were ever dream of. Ever.
Come on. These people have millions of dollars, free lights, free water, $14 rent. And listen, people might say, "Oh, y'all on some conservative shit." You forget who you talking to.
Yep. So, like I said, when we listen to Taraji P. Henson say, "I'm tired of doing this and doing that," I mean, I get it. I get it. Taraji, you know, you like I said, you probably definitely pay Uncle Sam a little bit more than we do and everything. But at the same time, everybody pay Uncle Sam.
Thank you. Yes, we're talking about Monique.
Yeah. Yes,
yeah.
DB. Yep.
Yes. DB. Just to clarify what we say, the disrespect and the calling and the division, we don't support that. I'm just saying that. But as far as her feeling like she deserved this amount of money, please just go and work harder. That's it.
Exactly.
That's all we saying here. We're not talking about anything else.
Right. Because she's already the best of the best. She's very decorated. Like I said, we said earlier, she's been in the game for 30 years.
30 years. Listen, won an Oscar. Not many black women in this game has won an Oscar. Had her own television show.
On BET Late Night Talk Show.
Late Night Talk Show. She has many accolades. So I'm wondering where somebody stopped you at. I was growing up watching her. She had
still going on tour as well.
Millions of dollars. Taraji and all these say, "I'm tired of getting underpaid." Maybe you need to decrease your expenses, baby. You've been a millionaire way before we is. We living good and we don't got millions.
Right. We know you in the classic of Baby Boy. In the black community, you already when you do classic stuff like that, you already rich.
Thank you.
We see you as rich.
She said, "Guys are wives
because you be in the classic.
Guys are wives and husband girlfriends holding us back from more than anything." Listen, one thing they have been saying, and I think there's been a shift in Monique. It's that dude who's next to her. I don't know if he think he a pretty boy or he wants to live like Delafonte or something like that. Brother, I don't know where you come from. I respect you, but you're getting Monique off her britches.
I get it, Hakeem, but the reason why I think he's there because Monique, a lot of people don't know, Monique has a mouth on her.
Yeah.
I'll get the husband that, like, you know, the reason why she's there because Monique, she will let you know. She said, like, you know, before I met my husband, you know, I was slick with the mouth. And when he came in, he kind of say, "Hey, you know, you gotta be chilling there and everything." So there's sometimes I understand why he shouldn't be there, but I also understand how Monique is as a person as well. Go ahead, Hakeem.
DB, so y'all saying people shouldn't speak out? I'm not saying that. She has a right to speak out what she's feeling. We have a right to have opinions about it. Just to clarify what we say, for her being disrespected as a black woman, we do not support that. The things, and mind you, if Oprah, Tyler Perry, and Lee Daniels were stopping her from getting a bag, that's division. We do not support that. What I'm saying, DB, is if you come into a game feeling you're owed something and deserve, no, honey. No. This is a country of immigrants, and which was built off the backs of many people. You got to work to get what you want. You're going to take L's in life. That's what I'm saying. There's many black women who would never be heard of and still out here doing their thing. This is what I'm saying. They're not. I've never heard Regina Hall. What's that actor screaming for that? Vivica Fox. Yeah. A lot of these Claudia. There's a lot of black women. Yes, we know they're underpaid.
Yeah, Niecy Nash.
Cheryl
Ralph. What's his name? Cheryl Ralph.
Oh my God.
Who's on the she is super duper humble.
Listen, she should be getting paid millions. I know she's not getting something. She's still working.
Yeah.
She's still working. Cheryl Ralph, she's from Jamaica. Listen, a lot of people don't know. Her grandfather designed the Jamaican the island suit that everybody wore.
Yeah, Viola Davis has spoken about that, but the thing is, Viola Davis, she's one of the rare person who's box office. She could put money into the box office, TV or movie. She could do that.
So Here's the thing, though. Here's the thing.
Angela Bassett, yes.
Yeah, Angela Bassett as well. But here's the thing, though. DB, I want to mention something. I said something earlier in the conversation that it is. My brother can speak about this for me. There's other races who are very underrepresented in Hollywood. I don't hear them complain that much. They create their own economy. The Asian community do not have no big movies. They don't do nothing. They're booming in China. They're booming in Korea. We're not able to see that.
And I'm gonna add something too. The our black UK actors and actresses too.
Yeah.
You see them coming around and everything.
Yeah.
They're not saying anything. So even though they come here, they want to be they want to come and do what they do and win and everything. I think they know what's up, what's going on in Hollywood and everything. But the thing is, they come in, they work, they do what they do. If they get tired, maybe they can build their own stuff and everything. Us as Black Americans, well, most of us in the industry, we know what's going on and everything. And if you don't like what you like, go ahead, get out and build your own and everything. And build your own company and everything. Go ahead.
Listen, you notice the Indian actors don't even care about coming over here to get a deal. You know that? They're millionaires where they at. They got Bollywood. Same thing with Hollywood. You also know, and I want to mention something too, DB. She said, yes, the rich, y'all. DB, we party at the rich, y'all. Shout outs to you, baby girl. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Listen, they did her dirty. Who they did dirty? Repeat that again. You see, y'all didn't hear Viola Davis tearing down other black creators. She did not. But I want to mention something. DB, you know that I gotta mention, because I don't know, when I say blacks are not underrepresented in movies, I don't know. We always been in movies. I gotta say this. The Mexicans, because I worked with Mexicans, I've dealt with Mexicans very much, love them to death, even dated. And listen here, they're very underrepresented in movies. I don't hear them say a peep. Listen, they got their own movie economy. Jordan knows what I'm talking about. They got their own TV shows. They got Mi Mundo. Mi Mundo's here. Mind you, I don't know if that's Cuban, and Mi Mundo's here. They don't care about if they're not represented. I've seen so many Mexican movies that I was like, we don't even know. They got their own economy.
Yep.
I don't think we're underrepresented. Yes, there is in the movie. When it comes to movies, TV shows, and they're very underrepresented. You don't get new Mexican actors produced. I'm saying this for a reason. Monique has been in the game 30 years. I understand when we're talking about a pay gap, or what are we talking about. But if we try to compare and contrast to other people, what are we talking about? I understand. This is our sister. I love her. I want her to win. But complaining is not going to move the needle. What moves the needle is, do me a favor. Take $150,000 or $1 million of that money you made. Start your own production company.
Or get with a group of actresses and put it together and make your own. Exactly. I would say there's a whole lot of black women actresses, like I said, who should be, I believe, who should be working together and build their own company to produce and everything. Because if they're complaining like you say they do, if they right by you, see if they can work with you and build your own company and everything. But majority of some of these black women, black actresses, like I said, they're cool. They're cool with what they got.
And she said Monique was complaining, but everybody else is just speaking out. Listen, I didn't say that, DB. I didn't say that. Monique has a right to speak her feelings. I'm just saying, okay, I'll give you an example. Angela Bassett didn't win the Oscar this year. Remember that? You know what she did that was so ladylike with poise? She went in across her legs like this. Woo!
Yep. Now this year she got her honorary Oscar. She could have said something.
She could have said something. DB, why didn't Angela Bassett scream out that day? It would listen. The room was so thick. The men had to say, "Auntie, you know you were a star in our eyes." Auntie.
Yeah, she's already rich to us.
Angela Bassett should have won an Oscar. I said that. She did
Multiple
not
Oscars.
multiple. She crossed her legs. She's already an Oscar in the hood. Damn sure ain't nobody gonna talk bad about her. Damn sure ain't nobody gonna talk about her. He said Mo is playing the squeaky wheel card. I'm just saying. Listen, a lot of people are underpaid in Hollywood. Whites, blacks. I'm just saying some people talk about, some people don't.
Why you think there was the union last year with the movies and the actors and in the studio last year? It went on for like 3 or 4 months and everything. Of course, like I say, they were trying to get a deal because they are super duper underpaid, and a lot of people don't know. The thing is, if I was one of the actors, I'll be doing something like me and Hakeem Ryan doing right now. Make our own.
Make our own. You know what I mean? We don't want to practice division. If you got listen, it's more better for us to, if we got a problem with somebody, call your brother in the back. Man, you know we got issues. Let's get this together and get some money together.
Hakeem, also before we go to the next topic, we want to Stephen A. Smith also made a comment about this too, and we'll react to that as well. Go ahead.
Okay. You want me to play it now?
Yeah, go ahead.
She's brilliant. She's an Oscar winner. She's sensational. What she did in Precious, her phenomenal acting career, her comedic genius. Monique, I don't know if anybody said this to you, but I'm going to say this to you, and I'm going to say it to you out of love. You always say sisters or brothers when you're talking to black people. Well, this is a brother talking to you, Monique. You look very bitter. You look like the light has been stripped from you. I don't know what happened. I'm not going to call you a liar or anything like that. I don't know. I never asked Steve Harvey or Kevin Hart or anybody or Tyler Perry or Oprah Winfrey and all of this other stuff. I never asked. I don't know. But I know that you're telling stories about Oprah. I'm not saying false stories. I don't know. But you're telling one thing about Oprah. You're telling another thing about Tyler Perry. Tyler Perry leaves you a voice message reportedly, and you're airing the message. Well, how can somebody feel comfortable enough ever talking to you if they think that their messages are going to be disseminated to the masses when it was supposed to be a private conversation? You talked about Kevin Hart and how you were supposed, he said, "I love you, sister. We'll talk in 2 weeks." And then after that, you never heard from him again. Okay. Did you play any role in that? I'm just asking. Did you? I don't know. But when you bring these kind of things up and you talk about Oprah, I'm quite sure Oprah ain't perfect. I'm quite sure there are an abundance of people, black, white, and beyond, that have had issues with things that Oprah has done that have negatively affected them. But we all know how much positive Oprah generated for so many of us, because she showed us the way in so many ways about how to excel in this industry and in life. Does it have to be that bad? Even after all this time? It's just a question. Something that I want you to think about. Shannon Sharp had Monique and Cat Williams. I'm not looking for those interviews to interrupt his shine. He get his shine, I'll get mine. But that's my dude. And if he comes across as doing something wrong or doing something that people feel that I should be compelled to comment on, that's why I chose to comment. That's my position. I hope y'all can understand and respect it. And if you don't, you don't. But you know where to find me. This ain't the only Stephen A. Smith show you gonna see. I'll be back with more. Monique, she's brilliant.
How do you feel what Stephen A was saying, Hakeem?
And not to draw it out because we can go all night with this. He said I agree with him. This is another person who they talk bad about every day, and he voiced his opinion, and he does this. But I just think that we at a point right now, man. Like if somebody say something, it's just hot air. And if you got an issue, man, let's just get to work, man, and let's fix the problems. Like let's stop talking, man. Like this shit ain't gonna get nowhere. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I feel you. I mean, I definitely agree with what Stephen A was talking about. What he said about, when he talked about, the top rate thing, when they had private education, putting it out there, it's like, I want to know, Monique, what was your husband at the time if you do stuff like that? Because if you do stuff like that in your own community, it's like, and it gets out like that, a lot of people don't want to. A lot of people's not going to turn your back on, not going to be want to work with you and everything. I just hate that Monique has to do just little stuff like that. Like I said, I love this sister so much. She's one of the greats, but there's a reason why you're in a certain situation you're in right now. Because when you do you keep talking about the big elites, the black elites in our community with Oprah, Lee Daniels, which they both forgiven and forgetting, and Todd Perry and everything. You're not gonna get that money. It's not, you're just gonna stay what you at and everything. But hey, like I said, I wish Monique the best and continue what she does.
I like this point. I want us to read this. DB, great point. I don't necessarily agree with Monique about the Netflix thing, which we agree.
Right.
But I'm with her on the Oprah, Tyler, and Steve Harvey situation. I agree with you on that. But here's where the issue came at. We've yet to hear them say anything in public. Tell me if I'm wrong. Jordan, am I wrong?
No.
She spoke about, yes, Oprah was talking bad about her in private. Handle that private. Now when you put it in public, you clout chasing. If she put it in public, so be it. We're going to attack it in public. But if you put it in private, if Oprah says something in private, she said, you said something in private, I'm going to speak it in public. No. Come back with me in the back door. You starting more trouble like that. This is the issue that black people got. When something going in the background, we want the whole world to know. It ain't nobody business what goes on in our house.
And who cares? Like somebody won't feel sympathy for you. I heard this one chick. She wasn't black. At work, she was. I saw a chick doing this the other day at work and everything. I'm like, having the boyfriend on open air, and I'm like, why would you do that? To me, that's disrespectful.
She said you can't disrespect somebody and tell them how to speak. You're 100% right, but be careful when you get the response that you're looking for. And this is all I'm saying. If somebody listen, and that's the thing that we have to stop getting emotional about stuff. Some things y'all gotta stop. I understand, DB, I love you, Queen, but it just we're gonna agree to disagree. I feel like if somebody says something about me in private, I'm not gonna speak about it in public. I'm gonna call him and say, "Come on, pull up." I'm not gonna make this for everybody to know that there's a problem when there ain't no problem. If you want to get something, get your lawyers involved and put it the thing. But when you put it out in public, it's another thing. But I hope they work they out. I love Monique. She's a queen. I pray she gets whatever she deserves. I don't want nobody disrespecting her in public. Let me get that clear. In public, I don't support that. But if they're talking shit behind closed doors, it ain't nothing to even tell people out in public. That's it. That's all I got to say on that.
Yeah, that's true. And the DB said, did she try to have a conversation? She did, but when the situation happened like this, it's like, how you can't have this conversation when you doing slimy stuff like that. I can't talk to nobody. You do slimy stuff like that. It's hard for me to work with you. Not even talk to you, even work with you in general. I can't do that,
Bruh. I've had problems with a bunch of people, and nobody would know in public.
Facts. That's the thing.
Nobody would know in public, because eventually we gonna work that shit out. Right. And it ain't nobody business to know in public. I could scream and cry and I'll go to my cousin's house and roll over the floor and say, man, I want to beat these dudes up. Ah! and roll over the floor and start crying. Man, I want to go get a couple guns. Yeah. They'll calm my ass down and say, man, you're tripping. But I never once thought about going on TikTok and doing the TikTok story. Guys, do y'all want to hear? I didn't mean to come on TikTok today. Do y'all want? I'm gonna tell you what me and the guys have an issue with.
Right. It's like that answer. It's like a diary, Hakeem. They gotta go in. They gotta go in their diary. And it's like an open diary. It's an open diary. They gotta let the public know. This is what happened today.
Yeah, guys, this is my story. What happened with me and Deshaun? Deshaun came the other day and stole her half a brick from me. I said I was gonna come blow his house down.
Yeah.
Have Deshaun, and then part 2 of the saga between the beef with Deshaun and Prince.
Right, and they extended to part 2, part 3, part 4.
Yeah, come on, man.
If you guys want to see you guys, make sure you hit the like button and go to the next video, part 3 or part 4. They be breaking it down and everything.
Breaking it
smart
down
with it.
Never say they didn't. Man, I get it, but it is what it is. But yeah.
All right. We're gonna go to the next topic. We're gonna do this one. We're gonna do this one. Since we'll kind of make it. We on the trend right now.
Yeah.
So there was a woman. This came up today. It was about Planned Parenthood. She said that virginity is made up and used to control and shame women. That's right. She said virginity is made up and used to control and shame women. You don't believe me? Play the clip. Is she going to be detailed with it? After that, we're going to chop it up. Go ahead.
Virginity. What is it? And what's the big deal about losing it? Let me cut to the chase. Virginity is a completely made-up concept. It's a term that was created simply to control and shame people, mainly women. A virgin is someone who's never had sex, but it's not as simple as it seems. For one thing, medically, virginity isn't a real thing. In some cultures, people place a lot of importance on the hymen, a thin, fleshy tissue located at the opening of your vagina, as a marker of virginity. But the status of your hymen doesn't actually mean anything. That's because having penis and vagina sex is not the only way a hymen can stretch open. It can happen by putting something in your vagina like a tampon or a finger, riding a bike, or doing sports. So you can't tell if someone's had sex by the way their hymen looks or feels. Another reason the idea of virginity is complete nonsense is that sex means different things to different people. Generally speaking, society tends to define sex in a very narrow way: penetration, penis into vagina. But where does that definition leave queer people? Or folks who can't or don't have penis and vagina sex, and choose to have oral, anal, or another type of sex instead? And not everyone's first sexual experience is consensual, meaning that they were forced or pressured into having sex. There is also a double standard on who carries the burden of virginity. Society puts pressure on men for not having sex at the exact same time they shame women for having it. Make it make sense. Either way, shame has no place in someone's personal decisions about sex. It's time to throw away the notion of losing your virginity. What if instead of losing something, we reframe it as gaining? Because the truth is, when we make our own decision to become sexually active, we aren't setting ourselves up to lose anything at all. We hope we are gaining things like intimacy, self-insight, pleasure, and empowerment. All of these myths around sex and virginity can be so hurtful and overwhelming. But here's the one truth you should remember. Sex is defined by one thing and one thing only: you. Maybe that's being fingered for the first time. Maybe it's having anal sex. Maybe it's having your first orgasm. Maybe it's masturbating for the first time, or when you enthusiastically consent to sex. That's the beauty of your sexual journey. You're in charge, and you can figure it out on your own terms. Choosing to have sex, when, what kind, where, who with, is something that only you get to define.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, man. Go ahead, Akeem. What's your take on it, man?
I guess I'm gonna become a Catholic priest now. If they running this, listen here. This is the issue that I have. They making things up as long as we go along. This is the problem. I don't know what to say. I'm even shocked that this even is putting out there. And it's sponsored by Planned Parenthood to teach us to be more sexually promiscuous instead of having sex within the compound of a relationship and the way the doctrine of God has already presented to us. They don't even understand the economic negative effects when you're very promiscuous. Our social services are hemorrhaging when kids are born out of wedlock. Food stamps, adoptions, all these kids. These kids need home. Let's do this the right way. When she say this, I don't know what she talking about. The liberals are striking again. It's these type of stuff that make me become all conservative again. You tell me that virginity doesn't mean anything, and this is for the ladies. Yes. Some things are very chauvinistic and male controlled. What can we do about it? We could try to change it. A lot of it ain't going to do it. But here's the thing. I'm from the 90s. I'm a little bit older. And the concept of virginity and the concept of being pure, men do care about these things when they want to care about pair bond. And we want the same thing for our daughters. We want the same thing for our sons. You might not think about this, but those conversations are had with their sons as well. Hey, we don't want you to be out here sleeping. If he was raised in a household that was respectful. So that stuff she was promoting, that's new to me. I don't know nothing about that. My kids won't be. When I have kids, I'm gonna be involved in my daughter's sex life. A lot of people might think that's weird. We might be Muslim. I might treat her like a Muslim and get her married off. They'll say, hey, listen, first person who tapped that ass, the last person who tapped that ass is your husband. Same thing with my son. First person you tap that ass, last person you tap that ass is your wife.
Hakeem, man, I don't know where we are going because this is some new stuff, and will not be surprised this was made here in California because they're doing a lot of stuff here in California, shaking some stuff up. But the plan, it had to be the LGBTQ had to be involved with this situation about Planned Parenthood because how she was talking like she was one of the LGBTQ, was in the alphabet community. That's what it sounded like to me. This is definitely sound like to me, and like stuff like this is like back in the day, I never heard. I would say like parenthood in general, not to that extent when she talk about, I never, heard about things about that. All this I learned from, my mom talk about the birds and the bees. Or my father-in-law is talking about that, about sex, about the birds and the bees and everything. And I feel like what Natasha was saying, it should be taught about your parents and everything, but when it comes to this mess right here, that's why I'm like, I don't know if I'm gonna put my child onto get onto the internet very early or get on the TikTok stuff like that because and also monitoring my daughter as well by watching some stuff like this because it's a lot of stuff on these internets, social medias, on televisions, commercials, movies that promotes a lot of sexual liberation and what I'm not cool with. There was a movie I just saw. I forgot forgot the movie, but it was he was one of shoot he was I think he was in NAACP with Martin Luther King and everything. And I was like, okay, cool. I was watching the movie, and then 20 minutes in, I found out the man was gay. I was like, oh, I don't know about this. I don't know. I wasn't comfortable. But he was like in a gay relationship, they touching everything. I was like, wow, this is surprised me and everything. And you see a lot of more and more of this on movies and everything. That's why I kind of watch movies no more like that. Like watching the movies. Because sometimes when stuff like that pops up, I mean, I'm not hating or anything. Like I said, it is what it is, But for me, I'm not comfortable watching it, because I never seen that, never seen that, when I was, watching movies in the 90s and 2000s. But these new movies in the 2020s and everything, they're really pushing this agenda. And I'm not. And the thing is, it's like I know for some men that watch this and everything, it kind of turns their way. Now they're not comfortable watching stuff like this. So when I'm hearing parenthood and stuff like that, it's like, yo, man, what the hell's going on, yo? It's just a smaller agenda just pushing, into the YouTube, the social media, commercials, and won't be surprised that it's going to be pushed in some of these schools here as well and everything. I think that's what I kind of worry about and everything. What school I put my child in and everything at the time, because and here in California, it's really really wrecking up out here and everything. So for me, I don't really don't like that, especially in my household and everything, because this is what we don't practice in our household. So for me, I just got to be very I'm gonna say word. Just be very be very very careful of here of what my child watch, what school that she goes to that kind of promotes stuff like this, because it's just coming more and more and more, man. And people that's family who's like Christians or Muslims who has like a family structure that don't mess with that type of things. I just feels like it's kind of knocking on their door and they try to, push it away and really try to be make sure your child is really sexually liberated, which I don't want my child to be either. I know there might be stuff that, my child might experience some things, but it's important for as parents just to be there for your child, talk about stuff that they're going through, what they're feeling and everything. Just like we have done from generation for generation for generation. So, yeah, man, how we turning it right now, man, it's not looking good.
Jordan, you always hit it right on the nail, right on the nail, right on the nail. My brother, I'm just going to add on to this thing. He said people have been calling out parenthood for years. Natasha, this is so beautiful that you say go on dates with your kids, ask them about their day, what they're watching, what questions they have, and what they're thinking, and you always would be surprised how much to process. One thing. Now, Natasha, we're very lucky being raised in the Western Hemisphere where there's the concept of dating. And I don't know if a lot of people, Natasha, I don't know if you remember, at one point I was Muslim. And you could not go on date with a Muslim girl. There's no such, the concept of dating is not there. You can hang out, and her brother or her dad has to be in the facility at the date, at the thing. If we all go out to the movies, her dad, her dad are going out, or her older brother, and they sitting in between you. Now, there's a point that I want to get, and DB, I want to stress this fact. My ideology is based on my upbringing. My mother is very fundamentally is a Christian. I've explored religions in different ways, but my mother has always frowned on promiscuity. on me and my brother. She had our foot on our necks. My brother didn't have his child until he was 45. I'm 40. I'm 42. I still don't have no kids. I didn't.
Hey, I'm 33. I'm about to have my first child.
About to have his first child. And listen here, DB. Listen here, DB. She's very and listen, she had focused on us and very focused on marriage. So we're very strict on this. And here's the thing. I want to comment on what Jordan did. My mother restrict us from watching certain things, reading certain literatures. And this is why we're at this stage where we're very conservative about sex, kids, marriage, and a lot of other things due to our upbringing. So a lot of people won't understand this, and they probably think, "Oh, this was your dad." No, my dad doesn't have outside kids. So this is a cultural thing we do. It's a lot of men in my family who still don't have kids due to the women in our family. You might have thought it was the men, due to the women in our family who was very strict about this. And mind you, and you want to know where the strictness come from? Religion. Now here's the thing. We might want to, a lot of people might not want to like to hear this. A lot of the liberals are talking this stuff, removing religion, removing culture out of these things when we were based in a lot of black Southerners. I'm talking about real black Southerners, real Midwestern people from back in the days. A lot of the stuff that are being presented now would not be agreed. She said, I don't agree with promiscuity either. To be 31, no kids, celibate for 3 years, never had sex outside of a committed relationship. So, DB, we're in this. Listen, we're right here. We're right here, baby. So you understand. So that ideology, what me and you are on, you're gonna pass that on to your own kids. So we can agree with what she's saying. Is this is indoctrination right now to make us more loose. Our kids are already loose as it is. When we leave them to their own vices, that's why I'm even strict about letting a kid have their own iPad unless if it's not controlled. Because
Exactly.
I got
You got a child lock on that boy.
Listen, I got a friend going through some things right now, and he has a daughter. He's a single father. He's a single father going through some things with his daughter, and these things that are telling them in school.
Yes, it is. It is a word. Urban noise. It's in a dictionary. Look it up.
Yeah, indoctrination. Yeah, it is.
Yeah, it's a word.
Hey, them boys used to hear me talking ghetto all day. They not used to me.
It's indoctrination. It's a word. Yeah, it's in a dictionary.
Listen. I had to pull that out my college bag. You know? Them boys used to hear me talking ghetto all day. You know what I'm saying? Now I'm the pastor today. So DB, you said something that was so profound. Natasha stamped it with 10,000%. We need to police our own kids. My beautiful brother here, everybody, I want you to congratulate him. He's about to have a beautiful daughter from a beautiful woman. He has morals and values, I think, that's going to set us right to the next future. And I only want to do that too. I think that is disrespectful that we want to try to control how we raise our kids and how we go about life. And what do we do with our own kids? And to put the power in the kids' hands is very that. And it's a liberal thing. This is why I say old black Southerners are conservative. Most Mexicans are conservative. Arabs are conservative. Definitely Nigerians, Cubans, Puerto Ricans, Dominicans. You name it, a lot of these people are conservative. They have conservative views. They have religious values that are conservative. These liberal views are a U.S. type situation. We used to be very conservative when, you know what I mean, religious fundamentalists are conservative. They still follow the text the way God has presented to them from the beginning. If you go down to Mississippi, go to some white churches, women are still wearing dresses down to their knees. They're not in tight pinstripe dresses. And that's what I'm saying. A lot of this stuff, we're making it up as we go along. I pray that we can put a handle on the black community. Because you want to know why? The black boys are suffering, the black women are suffering. Especially the black women are suffering the most. They're the ones who statistically are not having husbands. And they're spewing these things. And you know, our girl Princella trying to bring y'all over the fence as well. She wants you to no point, no this. I don't mind if you want to have a that, but you know, I support you. You know, go ahead, do you? But here, I want to have a wife. I want my daughter to have a husband. That's all I pray for. She say, oh, listen, Natasha, I love you. Listen,
Natasha. Thank you.
Listen, hop on that baby train. Support our brother all around the world. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? This is the first Chaos Culture rated baby. Hopefully, we can have 30 more.
Yeah.
And then amongst the game.
Yeah.
You know what I'm trying to say? So, DB, you know what I mean? And we agree to disagree. And I love the fact that you challenge us. And you just said we're not intimidated that you're a woman and you're challenging us. And we need to have these type of discord. And I would, you know what I mean? And we want to hear your views because there's some points you're saying that are correct. So we can come to an understanding as far as a man and a woman. Go ahead, bro.
And yeah, also DB, if you ever want to come up on Wednesdays, we have open panels. If we have similar topics, something like this, you know, come up on board and let's talk. You know, your voice. Like I said, we want to hear your voice. Your voice should be heard. You know, if it's something we can agree or not agree to, and continue to talk about it, let's talk about it. So make sure, like on Wednesdays, open panel Wednesdays, if it's a topic you'd like to talk about similar to this, come up and pop on. We love to have you.
We love to have you, Queen, and you'll be safe here. We're not disrespectful. We want all women to come here. Listen, thanks to a lot of you women supporting us, we're here today because of that. And you know what I mean? We can't get nowhere without y'all. You know what I mean? We want to try to be, and we want to try to understand. Our biggest supporters are women. Natasha, Sherry Bryant, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, Sugar Bomb.
Yeah. When she show up. You know, that stuff that lady was talking about, that brings division. Because a lot of us are going to be conflicted. A lot of us who are conservative and a lot of these people who are new age. And I want to make myself clearly, if you want to live a certain kind of way, I want you to live that way. I don't want you to be me. I'm going to be me regardless. I just don't want you to impose that lifestyle on me. You know what I mean? I don't want you to impose your ideology. And I have a right to not want my kids to be indoctrinated in that type of thinking, that lifestyle, if I was born in a lifestyle. So it's saying my mother raised me conservative, my father's conservative, so I should just adopt a liberal mindset when I worked.
No, not at all. And the thing is, it's like, if you adopt it, you know, you should be hated. It's like you should be hated on you being a conservative and everything. And that's why I like where we get right now. Like, you know, with the liberals and the conservatives, it's always a battle. You know, you like I said, you living on the, you know, what you in the conservative side, you know, they're bad people, or the liberal side is bad people. People have different opinions. Period. You know, whether you agree or disagree. You know, it's not like, you know, all the stuff that you agree to, that you disagree to, you know, the stuff that you disagree to, you know, you shouldn't hate the person. It's just how they feel. This is what they live on their household. You're not living in their household. I just feel like a lot of people, you know, when it comes to like different household situation, if they say that if I do this, it's like, oh no, you shouldn't be doing that. Why are you doing that? No, this is what I do. This is what I like to do. This is how I think, and this is what I want to do. Fine, you know, but I don't feel like you should be shamed about like what they do right now. They're trying to shame the conservatives of what they've been doing for generation to generation to generation in your family and anything. If I feel like it's wrong, this is not what I want to do. This is not what I'm not going to do. You know, you're not going to be, and this is why I kind of hate what California is doing. Is like I said, for instance, like we talked about this last year, Hakeem, that when it comes to schools and everything, if the child can pick their own, if they're gay, if they're their own alphabetical letter, and let's just say, my daughter, she's she says, maybe she's lesbian, but I know that she's not lesbian, she's straight. But at the school, they try to, indoctrinate her to kind of being a lesbian. If I say no, I'm not gonna play that, they could really, put your ass in jail or possibly take your child away from you. And that's one of the craziest things I ever heard in my life. This is why I like, this is kind of like I said, I don't know why. I love California, I really, really love LA. But some of the rules he's putting up, it's just like, man, I don't know.
It's crazy, and this is why we love Florida. Because we're conservative as hell here.
Yeah.
DeSantis ain't playing a lot of that stuff, and he still allow us to be who we want to be at times. Yes, there's some caveats to it. You're gonna have some issues, but you know what I mean. We want to live the way we want to live, and that's the thing. And I think that understanding what we want to live and not shaming people for wanting to be conservative.
Right.
You know what I mean? And we're not shaming people for wanting to be this. I'm going to say something about Princella. There's a lot of things I can agree with her on. There's some points she have, but then there's things that I say that she's talking to bring division amongst men and women. And men can't live without women. Women, you can't live without men. It goes both way around. So the division in practice, and there was one thing that she said that kind of made me felt like that she said men are incapable of loving. When I heard that, I said that she's out of her rabbit mind.
She's out of her rabbit ass mind. The hell she talking about? I heard that too. I'm like, what? What is she talking about?
Thank you. Shout outs to Gore, my half brother. She said a lot of these men do the same thing. Listen, we don't support them goofies.
No, we don't.
You don't hear us support none of them goofies. You don't hear us saying F your feelings, F this. Sweetheart, my mama in church. You know what I mean? My mama a Christian. My auntie was a Christian. We from a third world country. My beautiful sister-in-law is from the deep south. Small town. They own land. They built their own houses. They're Christian as well. We fundamentally believe in love, marriage, and being with one another. I don't know what they talking about. That's the devil talk they talking about. We believe in God here. So anything that has to do with anything separation, anything objection of other races, anything that makes us look anything substandard, we don't support here. I'm already a king. I don't need to broadcast it. So I don't want her to tell you that you're better than me. Fundamentally, her telling you this, meaning that you're better than God. Men can't say we're better than women. Women can't say we're better than men. The only person who's better than all of us is God. And that's the point we need to get back to. These things that these people are spewing up is coming from hatred. It's coming from trauma. Tommy Sotomayor, a person who dealt with trauma. What's the guy name? Coming from trauma. A lot of these people are speaking from trauma. They're not speaking God. They're speaking us to stay away from each other. I've listened and been on panels with that lady talk about. She hates men, but she's still legally married to one. I don't hate women. I love y'all. I feel like I'm supposed to take care of you. Feel like that's my right and duty. I've been taught this my whole life. I've never felt like I've been superior to a woman.
And it's the worst thing about it, Hakeem, like, division is probably one of the hottest topics to talk about in his YouTube spaces.
And listen, we don't practice division here. We practice together here with everybody. Man, my brother here is married. I'm trying to get married. I'm trying to have a partnership with a woman. I don't know what she's talking about. I don't know what them other goofies is talking about. DB, I want you to hear me. I want you to hear me. Y'all, I want you to hear me. Let them goofies live their life. That doesn't translate in real life. Real life people are still getting married. They're lasting 20, 30 years, and it's a beautiful thing. These people are speaking from a hurt place.
I'm going to say this, Hakeem, and this is a fact. Division will not help you get generational wealth.
Well, talk about it. And
a lot
listen,
of a lot of these women out here about independence side work on generational wealth. It don't work like that.
Hey, I'm gonna make you ladies mad. You know they said statistically, women who are married retain more wealth than women who are single. This is a statistic fact. Go look it up. She say when a lot of our men can't get it right, a lot of black women see no point in coming together. That's where it at. Okay, I like that you say that. We've been struggling forever. Everybody struggled forever. So now it's an issue to still struggle. You have bad apples, you have good apples. You got to be a judge of good character. Wealth is built with two people. Sometimes a person comes into the relationship with a little bit more than the other. That has historically been happening. Sometimes it's a man, sometimes it's a woman. We do not hear a lot of these stories because they're not publicly talked about. Some men become millionaires. Their wives had more money. She invested into them. Some men become millionaires. They invested into their wives. But when we have the conversation about they can't get it right, the whole world is unequal. Some people are blessed to be in better families than others. And some men come from different situations. Some women come from other situations. Statistically, more women go to school than men, and men go to blue collar trades. Women go to school. There's an unequal. It's always been like that forever. That's in whites, blacks, Hispanics, and everything. My Mexican brothers, not a lot of them have degrees. They're landscapers. Their women goes to school. I'm not speaking for all of them. I don't never hear their women say, "I don't want to struggle with him."
And the thing is, they usually make more money than the women.
All the time.
All the time.
She said the married people in general. I get what. It's just that I'm talking about black men in particular. No, you're right. But here's the thing, though. You're talking about a small percentage of black men. And if I'm trying to phrase the question right, she said the men who can't get it right. Those men, if they can't get it right, they still ain't gonna get it right. They don't need to be married. But there's a lot of women who don't have a problem building with a man and do not throw it in our face. There's tons of women out here. I know some women. I've had women who poured into me. You know what I'm trying to say? I still think that the old ways are still going to work. This new stuff they talk about, I don't know. It only making us not married. Jordan, and listen, prior before we got on the show, Jordan had said something that was shocking to me. He said that they've lived in California and they couldn't find a married couple.
And I was telling her there was one that's close, but they broke it off.
They broke it off.
They was engaged, but they broke it off. And I was happy for him too. I was so Hakeem. Like once I found out he got engaged, I gave him a bottle of Moet and a card. I was like, congratulations. I was thrilled. I was happy, but unfortunately it didn't work out. So
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I don't know what to say then. You know what I mean? I love our people, but I don't want us to get caught up in this mess. Like, what do we talk about? When can we deviate? When can we deviate from making stuff up and go back to what things work? My mother and father been together 42 years. My dad didn't have nothing when he met my mother. My mother was the one with the money. You know that? My mother was the one with the money. My mother was a businesswoman. She came here. She came here with money. And that's another misconception a lot. She came here with money. My dad didn't have nothing, but my dad, when my mother seen what in him, she poured into him. He turned into the breadwinner later on in life. I wouldn't be here for that.
Yeah, a lot of people got different stories, and sometimes it's worked differently.
Like I don't know what to say. That's why I say we have these conversations, and these things are very there's I wouldn't say a small part.
She said in my age, that too is it's like because the thing is LA,
Yeah,
yeah, LA is huge. I'm not saying there's art in
yeah,
it, but it's just hard to find because how big LA is.
is yeah,
You know, LA is a huge city. You know, meanwhile, we've been here 5 years and everything. We've been out and about and everything. I'm not saying there's none because there are some. We still looking, but hopefully we will find some. When we have our kid, we take, we go to certain places where family goes and everything. Maybe we'll find some, but right now, places that we were like go around, we haven't seen anything lately. So hopefully we'll see some more. I'm not saying hope is not lost, but we eventually, hopefully we'll find some. We have a kid, maybe we go some places, we'll find something.
Jordan, move to a place where affordable living is better for single family homes. That's
Yeah,
why.
I mean, I'm looking for somewhere outside the city, so
Yeah.
that's
Uh,
something to look at.
this is a perfect question. She said, "Were they young?" I'm not trying to build with no 40-year-old man. You want to
No,
hear?
there was around my age. Yeah, there was around my age in like
Yeah.
in
No,
30s. Yeah, in low 30s. Yeah, they was in my age.
she was talking about me. She said, "Were my parents young?" My dad.
Oh, okay.
Listen, my dad had me at this age. My dad had me at 40. At 40, he at 40. Yeah. My dad's over 70, 75. My mother believed in him.
Yeah, and then that's what it takes sometimes.
That's all it takes. Sometimes
That's
I
that's
know.
that's my wife at the time. She believed in me, and sometimes that's what it takes.
And listen, he praised his wife. His wife got what, 70 degrees. His wife got 70 degrees. Highly educated.
Hmm.
Highly. Um,
Yeah, to each his own.
Each his own. No, definitely. Listen, once you doesn't fit all, you got to find what works for you as well. Me personally, I don't care if a woman's broke. I would take her with broke, still living at her mama house. Like it's the other way around for women though, not for men. Like you could be broke, not going to school, and men would still take you and pour into you and build. But some women today won't do that. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah,
We all know that. Some men don't care about is this. We just care about if you're nice and you're very family oriented, and if you know how to cook a steak, well done, and the juice freshly squeezed.
right. Or fried chicken,
Yeah, fried
or
fish.
fried fish, shrimp, whatever. Okay, okay. We're gonna go to this next topic. Well,
But
we got enough for this last topic. I
yeah,
want to do this one about Flacco because I definitely want to get your opinion about this. I
oh
can.
yeah,
I think he talked about this. This is last month, but I was like, yo, I definitely want to hear your opinion on this one about it's because this goes about the rap community and everything. So this next topic we're gonna talk about a YouTuber named Flacco. He has his own YouTube and he's from he's also a member of No Jumper and everything.
mhm.
And he was talking about the death of Juice WRLD, how he kind of blamed Future of him taking pills and everything. He said he was deaf on Future and because of what Juice WRLD was in the situation. So this I definitely want to talk about this in our rap community. How we kind of losing our young rappers every generation to generation. And we're gonna play the clip and we're gonna chop it up. Go ahead, Akeem.
Thank you, Natasha. Hey, she know I
Medium
like
well. You
medium
like
well
medium
done.
well?
No. I like it well done. Well done. Sometimes I might get frisky and get it well medium.
Man,
Listen.
I was in culinary school. Like I
Listen.
said, you got to be up from the edge.
Hey.
You need the juiciness.
Yeah.
Yeah. For me, I'm a medium guy. It has to be medium.
Medium. Hey, listen. I lived up north for some miles, so medium well. So you know what I'm saying. So,
I used to be like that too, but once I went to
yeah.
culinary school, I was like, man, what?
Oh, you see, you a chef though, so you already, yeah.
Why to this day, I say, fuck jail. I wish nothing but death and on like a Future. I wish death on Future. And here's what, sure. And here's why I wish death and on Future, right?
That seems kind of harsh though, right?
No, death. And here's why it's Future. There was a beautiful black boy, man, in Southside Chicago, right? He had a single mama, but he wasn't part of no gangs, bro, and he was in band, art, right? And he did and all the right things, right? But again, a single mama, she goes to work. She leaves this kid to his own vices. Yep. Around the age of 16, this kid who was in band, who was a musical genius, discovered Future. And while his mama is at work and he's listening, that's why to this day, I say, fuck jail. And he's listening to Dirty Stoner in that styrofoam, spending days getting mind blown. And he says, oh shit, bro, listening to Future made me want to do pills and drugs. So then he started taking drugs and pills. Now, he's such a musical genius that this kid went on to be the most impactful rapper of his generation. But that kid died, and he's listening to Dirty Stoner in that. But that kid died on a plane taking pills.
It's about Juice WRLD.
Juice WRLD. That kid name is Juice WRLD, and he says, I was in band, I was living a good life, and I started taking pills because of Future. So hence, Future's music led him down a path that killed him. Now, too, and here's why it's even more fucking sinister and evil of Future. Nicki Minaj said, yo, I was in the studio with this nigga Future. And he told me, man, bruh, I don't be doing drugs for real, Nicki. Like, I'm just rapping about it. Feel me right, again, because it's cool. So this nigga said, I don't do drugs, Nicki. I'm just rapping about it, Nicki. So this nigga led up, again, trust me, Juice WRLD ain't the only kid, bruh. This nigga took one of the brightest stars in a black music from us by rapping about a lie that he not doing to fill up his own pockets? How's that fair? How did he deserve to live after taking away from us one of the brightest young stars of our generation by a lie, bruh?
So it goes on. What I'm hearing from Flakko was saying, like I said, when rappers, when they rap about drugs and stuff and everything, even though majority of rappers, they don't. I'll say majority of rappers that they don't do participate in drugs. If you go all the way from our generation of rappers and everything, but just to see, with Juice WRLD, her Future, and he got into the drugs and everything, and then years later, it kind of took his life and everything, and it's just the lyrics of of the rap community of like for me, like I hear, like I said, I love rap and hip hop, but the stuff that like they talk about with gun violence and everything, drugs and everything, I knew I couldn't take it seriously, but for some people they take it's like, okay, if I do this, maybe I'll make it big or something like that, and that's what happened to Juice WRLD and other people as well. And with Flakko, he just said he said, no, forget that, don't forget jail. I wish that man, death on him, which is he was really serious with it. So Hakeem, man, I definitely want to hear from you because you got a little bit of expertise about these things. And what's your take, brother? What's your take?
Coming to the penthouse.
Okay, Sherry.
It's a difficult one because I've done music and I've listened to Dirty Sprite. I've never wanted to do drugs, and I know that's subjective to individuals. But Kurt Cobain, Hendrix, a lot of guys, a lot of rockers have made music pertaining to drugs, singers. You know what I mean? There's ballads that are talking about that, and you know what I mean? I think when it comes to hip hop, we try to hold ourselves to the highest accountability. And don't get me wrong, I agree. And how you doing, Bobby? There's certain times I think there's certain messages that shouldn't be spewed. I agree on that. But then I do think that at a certain point, Juice WRLD was an adult, and accountability you can't shift blame on just one person. Then we need to just blame the whole industry. Record labels allow this stuff to get pushed out. People who make music allow this. You know what I mean? We're going to blame somebody. We're going to have to blame going all the way back to that. All the way back to even Motown. Motown had songs talking about sleeping with other women, drinking bottles of liquor. Papa was a Rolling Stone. Wherever he laid his hat, that's where he made his home. A lot of people took that song seriously. So I'm wondering, do we hold them accountable, or do we start to tell people if the people who are getting affected by the music, do they have mental problems? Because out of the vast amount of people who listen to music, a lot of them are not picking up machine guns and busting them. The biggest consumers are whites in music. Not a lot.
After that, it's Mexicans.
It's Mexicans. I don't see a lot of them.
I mean, Hispanics. I'm sorry,
Hispanics. Black people, we make the music, but we rarely consume it the way they consume it. And a lot of them are suburban white kids who go to school, go to college, and do this. A lot of them don't want to be trap stars.
Shoot, probably Brian and Sherry, they having a good old time over at the Ritz.
I see that. We at the Ritz to tell my B-Day Gorilla put my girls up, and we love Gorilla. Shout outs to Gorilla Black.
Shout out to Gorilla. Yeah. Yeah, Hakeem, man. Yeah, I kind of agree with your sentiments. Fresh From Source said it's like blaming video games on school incidents. Yeah, that's true. It does come to if you have like a mental illness, because usually we like to say we hear like rock and roll that talks about drugs and stuff, rap that talks about drugs and guns and all that type of things and everything. It hits to me. It just hits somebody. You don't hear a person every day, on the news every day, shooting up schools or doing drugs, hard drugs or cocaine, crack, and all that type of things. It's like back in the 90s, you have movies out there like Menace to Society, South Central, what's the other movie with Wesley Snipes? What was that movie he was in? He was in New York. He was a Kingpin.
New Jack City.
Yes, New Jack City. Yeah, just movies like that, and like just stuff like that. It's like you said, you don't, like I said, we play stuff like that or play video games like that or listen to rap music like that. You don't hear the people every day, taking drugs like that or going into schools or going to robberies like that. It's just people that does that thing. They have a mental illness, and it needs to be addressed or something like that. And preferably Juice WRLD, I can see he probably had a mental illness, or also he probably didn't have a mental influence because he did say, he had a single mother and everything. But where was her father, or where was the uncle, or where was the teacher or the band teacher when he was in band class who can really, put him in a straight line like that? Because it sounds like Juice WRLD wasn't in a straight line, and he got so easy to introduce about Future that to take drugs was that Future didn't do it. Firstly, he took it. Liz it took his life off. It took his life out and everything. So with Flacco, I kind of disagree with what he was saying. I just feel like Flacco. I think he just dislikes and despises Future for some obvious reasons, which I clearly don't know. But yeah, man, when it comes to rapping about drugs and stuff or playing video games that goes into drugs or watch movies or like that, usually a lot of people don't take it seriously like that unless you have mental illness and you get into it something like that, or you have no type of influence in your life and you do it anyway. And once you do it, it kind of it kind of takes you it kind of takes you away, of being in your own reality in a way, not being in the real world, but being in your own reality and being comfortable in your own reality. And unfortunately, and that's how some people mental illness, that's how it works out. Either they could get fixed, they could get help, or either you're gonna go to jail or it takes your life away. And that's how it is right there. He said Juice WRLD looked to Future like a father figure. I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
Because he had no father figure in his life, so that's what he looked at too.
He did. I honestly believe that he probably was on drugs way before he got into the music industry.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like somebody who just does that does not just overday, but I don't think that had nothing to do with Future. I think maybe that's a lot of trauma and pain. He was trying to self-medicate.
Also, prescription drugs that are bad for you as well. Like was it Ritalin and all these medical drugs they try to put you in. Like my brother, he was on I think he was on some type of prescription drug that he was in need that the school kind of prescribed him to take and everything.
Yes.
Now, my brother, he suffered from clinical depression because of that and everything. Because at the time they said he was acting so hyper in the first. So how he like to talk like acting so hyper. But my thing, it was so confusing to me because we'd be at home, he don't be acting like that.
Yeah.
So I didn't know what the teacher was talking about and everything. But firstly, the teacher tried to prescribe my mother to take this, a prescription drug, and unfortunately he took it for like a year or two. But I believe that particular drug really affected him. Right now she's a grown adult and everything, and I just feel bad about it and everything. And I just feel like, as especially in our Black community, as being a parent and everything, there'll be sometimes, if you're in a public school or a charter school, because me and my brother, we went to a charter school, and they feel like if you doing something that's abnormal as a child, they'll try to prescribe your kids for something. But the thing is, that they'll try to prescribe your kid for something, but once they get older and everything, there will be so long lingering effects that your child might have when he gets a grown adult and everything. And I probably believe that Juice WRLD, maybe he took some type of drug that your prescription government school that we don't know about, and maybe it affected him to the long run, and not having an influencer, a father figure, something like that hurt him even worse. And that's why he looked just like a rapper that's the future. Say, hey, I like his music. I listen to his music. He does this and everything. And firstly, he listened. He did drugs, and at the end of the day, it took his life away.
Yeah. Hey, DB and Natasha say they don't know who Juice WRLD is. Hey, is that?
That's all right. He's a young rapper. He's in his 20s. Yeah, young generation of rappers. Yeah.
Y'all just not plugged in. Y'all just not plugged into certain music. We plugged in. I'm from the streets, so I like that shit that slap. Like,
yeah, I got like I said, I know I'm in my 30s, but I listen to these young generation what they listening to.
Yeah,
like if it's good or if it's nonsense or whatever. Like the thing with the Ice Spice situation, like you said, she came out, with her single fart, trying to diss Lotto and everything. So now that's a little beef and everything. Now while I'm listening to it, I'm like, wow, I get it, but I'm like, I'm like, man, it's too much for me. I'm too grown for this.
And you're right. And another thing, DB, I'm in the listen. I live with young people, so I'm in the car with this. So they playing that jam.
Yeah,
they playing that jam.
They bumping it.
they bumping it, so I gotta be acclimated now.
Yeah, you be a young boy. Yeah.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So,
And to me, I go to me and my wife. We go to music festivals and everything. So we go see some type of performer that we don't know about. We listen and see what's up.
no, definitely.
So
No, definitely. But
yeah.
yeah. It is, but it is, but with that being said, man, DB, we're gonna go back to what you say. Police your kids.
Yeah.
Police your kids. Be in their life. Make sure that you have your hand on them, because people who are very involved, in their kids' life, they don't end up like Juice WRLD. People who don't allow their kids to their own vices, they don't end up like Juice WRLD. You know what I'm trying to say? And I also think that sometimes individuals will make a decision and will blame other people for that when it has nothing to do with that. Sometimes we know he could have been self-medicating on drugs because his daddy wasn't there. He was a single mom. He would have found some kind of negative outlet. These guys never speak about their fathers. 90% of these guys, when we hear they got some tragic death going on, we can link it to certain things. Has nothing to do with the rappers. Has nothing to do with the rappers. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, what do we do? All we can do is pray for them. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It is what it is. But yeah, folks, we are about to end the show. We're about to end the 2-hour mark. We appreciate you guys. We appreciate you guys. So make sure you guys hit the like, hit the subscribe button, and make sure you hit the notification bell because we do go live Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, 6:00 Eastern time. Like I said, firstly, Ronnie's not here. He'll be back with us next week.
Yeah.
And we're going to get a show on the road. But we'll name some shout outs. Shout out to DB. Good conversation you had.
Good conversation.
Urban Noise, Natasha Vincent, Fresh Sounds, Ashton Weeds. Shout out to Bobby Bryant, Sherry Bryant. Who else we had on here? Y High, Spike Protein. Appreciate you guys. Who else we had on here?
Hey, it said, hey, Bobby Bryant said it's 15 of them watching the show. Shout out to the penthouse girls, the rich girls out in the red.
We appreciate it. Who else I forget? We got
y'all made me want to sell dope again so I could go buy the bottle.
Yes, sir. Anybody else I'm forgetting?
Hey, shout outs to Fresh Sound, Florida.
Yes.
Shout outs to Fresh Sound, Florida. Yep, the backbone.
Oh yeah. Oh, shout out to Rilla too. Shout out to Rilla. We had him on the chat.
Rilla, Y High.
Y High. Anybody wants to know some kick on Facebook, on Twitch, Hakeem?
Oh my God. It's so many people on Instagram. I can't. Let me go in there.
Well, how many people watching this?
Man, it was so many people going on there. Shout outs to Gotta Eat Apparel, Cat Eye 50. So yeah, and it's so other people that joined that I can't even see.
Okay. Hey, man, we appreciate the viewers. Like I said, our viewers are growing and growing and growing, man. Not just on YouTube, on Facebook, Twitch, Kick, Rumble. We appreciate you guys. We appreciate you guys so much. But before we go, guys, make sure you guys hit the community tab. We got the Chaos Culture Radio t-shirts for you guys. I also ordered some more t-shirts coming in. I should get mine next week. I got a couple. I got a green one coming, and I got a black one for you guys. So I can show more of our merch and everything. Also, we got a Chaos Culture Radio cup mug. As you see, I have every single day. If I have water, juice, might be some liquor sometime. You never know sometimes if I'm feeling good. But make sure you guys get the coffee mug and everything. And amen. And also make sure you get Hakeem's book.
Yeah,
Black Love, and like I said, and also there's other books coming out real soon. It's gonna come out real soon, and we can't wait for that. We can't wait. But like I said, people, thanks again for coming up. We really appreciate you guys for showing us support like you do with every single weekday, Monday, Wednesday, and Fridays. And like I said, we're gonna keep on doing it. But that's on Chaos Culture Radio.
We out. Listen, happy birthday to the beautiful queen, Sherry Bryan. Happy birthday. And listen. Shout outs to all those beautiful ladies that are in the penthouse at the Ritz.
Yeah.
I don't need to see y'all to not know that y'all butter pecan, dark chocolate, caramel sundae, whatever. Y'all, I know y'all bad. Shout outs to y'all. So bad that I feel like I'm ready to start paying some bills. I'm ready to start swiping some cards. You listen, the brim should let you know I'm an old man that pays some bills. That brim should let you know this ain't a fitted. This ain't a fitted. This is a brim. Old niggas with some cash brim. Okay? Happy birthday to you, Queens. Beautiful black woman. Beautiful black woman. So we're going to holler at y'all.
Yeah. All right. Peace.
Go ahead. Educated, beautiful women with degrees.
There you go.